and welcome to this patch breakdown of patch 7.17. I haven't done one of these in a while. Been quite busy. I worked a lot on some videos that'll come out soon. I recently started school again, my last year at high school, and been working on some events too, so haven't had as much time to do these kind of videos. But here we are. Now I can finally do them. Excuse my outfit of today. Recently got home from work. I work at a swimming hall. And this is my lifeguard outfit for work, or instructor, depending on what I'm doing for the day. I am an instructor too, from time to time, teach kids to swim. Anyways, let's jump into it. So first off, we have Orn, and he will be released during patch 7.17. Been looking forward to this guy for so long. I feel like he is such a how do I want to put it? He's a guy with a lot of potential. I feel like the way that his kit works, the way that he can manipulate a lot of the CC around the Summoner's Rift, like his Brittle, the new passive, if I remember correctly, or the new stun or whatever, prolonging CC is going to be so interesting to watch out for. And I really like his kit. I feel like it brings a lot of utility to the team. So while he isn't your typical hard engaged top laner, he brings something new to the table that can complement your bottom lane engage support, or an Amumu in the jungle, something that wants to engage. And I really want to look out for him. I really want to see him in pro play, but we won't see him till after Worlds. I don't think he is. He's probably not. Activated for Worlds. Sorry, I got a little bit distracted there. Yes. So first off, we have a Draven, and now his passive grants less base gold, and Draven loses more stacks on death. Okay, so I can understand the idea of you wanting to shut him down a little bit. I don't feel like Draven is a huge pick right now in the current meta. Obviously, it's not his passive that makes or breaks him, but I feel like this nerf might be very oriented around solo queue, because obviously in a solo queue scenario, he can be a super good pick because of his snowbally state. So I feel like moving the adoration stack lost on death from 50% to 75% might be a little bit overkill, especially considering that he isn't really a champion you see picked very often. He's good with one-trick ponies. That's usually where you see him, because let's be fair, if you are a one-trick pony, if you know how to play this guy really well, then obviously you'll be able to snowball very easily too. But I feel like the nerfs are a little bit overkill and very much aimed towards solo queue. Ezreal Q radio increased. So Ezreal hasn't really seen any love in the current meta. He takes far too long to scale up, and I mean, obviously your Q is a huge part of you, and you do have a super strong late game in Ezreal, because once you get the more mana and the Trinity Force, Blaze Ruin King, once you have those 3 items, you're going to be super strong. And I don't feel like putting more AD on your Mystic Shot is the way to go. The problem about Ezreal is that he is so dependent on getting that more mana, and when you're forced into using 720 gold on an item that brings nothing to the table for you, you will lose out. Like you can buy the item on champions such as Cassiopeia because they are already fairly safe in the mid lane. They don't have to over push. Obviously, a lot of pressure is built around the mid lane, so that if you are a Cassiopeia against a LeBlanc, obviously you will lose out on the amount of pressure, the amount of momentum you can gain from the mid lane. But I feel like the thing about Ezreal is that you really want to have some AD carries that can work in the mid game as well. And Ezreal just takes too long to scale up. You want to have AD carries that can be online from the start and bring something to the table already from level 1. And that's not Ezreal. Yes, you buff his late game, but 0.05 AD radio is not going to be the way to get that guy back into the meta. Hecarim, E no longer ticks down during R's charge or the fear duration of scales with distance traveled. I really love the idea about the Onslaught of Shadows changes. Because obviously using it very close to a target should not bring the same amount of fear as if used from far away. Because obviously it's easier to land when you are close to a target. So I feel like these changes are good for him. But he gets online at level 6, and I love Hecarim. Don't mistake me here. I love this pick. I feel like Hecarim is one of my favorite junglers. I really love what he brings to the table. I love his Onslaught of Shadows. I love how he can duel with a lot of people. But people do it better than him right now. A Gragas is better at what Hecarim does. He's better at engaging. He's better at dealing damage. He's better at dueling. Analyse is better at it. Hell, even a Rek'Sai is better at it than Hecarim. And we need to see a change of meta. We need to see something a bit more fast-paced. Something where you can be rewarded for for moving into your enemy's jungle before Hecarim will come back. I don't feel like he's a bad pick or nerfed pick. The meta just doesn't suit him. So while it's some feel good changes, it's not exactly something that'll tip the game's balance at all. Leona, passive mark expires faster but deals more damage when proc. Q cooldown decreased at earlier ranks, increased at rank 5. So her marks are stronger at level 1 and stronger later on. So basically stronger throughout the whole game. I like this idea of complementing her aggressive nature, making it so that if you want to go in, you have to do it like this very quickly, instead of allowing, let's say, Leona to go in, put down the passive, move out, have an Ezreal shoot the target 2.5 seconds later, or Jhin, and still get that amount of extra damage from the sunlight. I feel like that's a good change to complement that very aggressive nature. I love the idea of the shield nerfs, buffs, because again that complements her aggressive nature. This could potentially, I think this might actually be something that is worth looking at. That could shift her back into the meta, because while she somewhat fits the current meta in terms of what you want from a support you want to engage, and tankiness, and that's Leona. But her dueling potential, skirmish potential, and the cooldown on her abilities are just too low, and therefore you don't really see her being played. And I mean, if you can then utilize these changes to be more aggressive, then I feel like that is the way to go, and I feel like this might actually be some good changes for Leona that could put her back into the meta boat. Maokai passive no longer proc off VODS. Well, VODS are magical, I guess. It's called sap magic. What do they write about it? So Maokai missed last patches work to standardize on the interactions with VODS. Fair enough. Yeah, they just want to clean it up a little bit. I don't know. Like, I really don't care. I think it's fine. Moving on to Urgot instead, maybe a little bit more interesting. R slow duration and reactivation window increased. W locked out after failing to hit a champion E reduced. W locked on debuff now refreshes with W hit. So W is the purge, and that is the one where he goes into a machine gun stance, if I remember correctly. So when you lock someone down, you go into this automatic machine gun stance. So refreshing that makes sense, I guess. Yeah, it does. Okay, yeah, like, I mean, you're locked on. Why shouldn't it refresh it for as long as you have it locked, or have the purge up? Disdain, however, if Urgot casts Disdain during Purge but fails to toss a champion, Purge will now resume firing for the remainder of its duration a bit earlier than before. Sure. Slow duration and reactivation window. 4 seconds. Yeah, I don't know really know what there is to say about Urgot. I want to see him a little bit more before I can comment on this. Set base attack speed increased, W shadow duration increased. Yeah. Base attack speed, yeah, it helps a little bit with his ult. Helps with his split pushing, yeah, like they write. This helps sets control minion waves, split push, and find more windows to use his abilities more aggressively. Makes sense. Not the biggest of changes. Like, again, we're in a tank meta. Set is not going to come out in a tank meta. End of story. Some good changes, nonetheless. Like, if you want to go for a more snowbally composition, if you want to go for something with a 1v1 or a 4-1, Set is now a more viable option because of him being more safe with his living shadow and having a better base attack. Like, probably not going to be what shifts him back into the meta, but definitely makes him a little bit more viable. Unsensor. Attack speed buff and health drain buff decreased. Thank you. So, I don't feel like you have to have a scale. I like what they've done by meeting in the middle ground. I mean, you don't have to butcher the item. It's a good item. I really love this item. I feel like it is a good item. You don't have to butcher it at all. And I love what they're doing by meeting it in the middle, making it 25 on both of them. It's the way to go, I feel like. I understand why I want to make it scale better, because after all, this is a support item and supporters want to feel strong in the late game. But because it was too strong, I feel like this is actually the way to go. I feel like just making it a fixed amount is so much better than having it scale, because then it means that it's not necessarily going to be a rushed item, but still an item you want to get. Gargoyle Stone Plate. Nothing there. For example, fix the bug where the metallic size active forgot to remove in the hole. Oh god, okay, so bug fixes. Preferred item slots, do not care. Honor, do not care. Rotating game mods, definitely do not care. And yeah. Okay, well, I mean, that marks the end of this patch breakdown of patch 7.17. Hope you all enjoyed it. More videos will come out soon. Do remember to leave a comment if you have something you want me to work on, if you have some videos or video ideas you think I should make. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook to interact with me, and I love to talk to you guys. So with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you another time.